Okay, so a Thursday New York AM trade recap. I took a few trades. Went into the session overall a bit more bullish. Saw these relative equal highs that were sitting up here. Price around a bit after 8:30 went into the equilibrium of this 4-hour fair value gap. You were a bit overextended as well to the downside, so considering all of that, it kind of made sense to see some sort of expansion up after swiping this liquidity down here. Believe we took London lows in this case. It was either London or Asia lows. So the first kind of idea was I was kind of just a bit more bullish here. I want to see some sort of expansion. I want to see price eventually move back up into this area here. 402 eventually. I was looking for just the start of a market maker buy model. This is the manipulation, the start of the buy side of the curve almost. So first idea was essentially it was just waiting for the second market structure shift. So I took this 1 minute CSID here. 1 minute CSID here for longs. I just saw this strong move higher here. Actually, I believe I took it on the 30 seconds, so my R&R was a bit better, but yeah, I took it around there. There's 1 minute or 30 seconds CSID at 54. Once price kind of chopped up here, I didn't like how I was trading. There was no expansion up higher to the next liquidity point, so I just put it to break even at this point. The first trade of the day was a break even one. I let price action go on for a bit longer. But yeah, I did eventually take a long on the 30 second a bit later. It wasn't the greatest trade, but essentially I was looking for a clean bit of price action in this range. And I believe I took, it was a 30 second assisted log, yeah, right here. It's a combination of both assisted and an inverse fair value gap. It wasn't the greatest confirmation, but I was kind of bullish at this moment considering the market structure shift. Took a long around here, around 57, and eventually we did see that movement higher. I took it off around 58, a bit before this high here. Essentially, then that was a nice trade in terms of the price action wasn't quick, and essentially maybe even the 15 second would have given you a better entry down here with this one, but price action did go higher. Waiting for that market structure shift was definitely very handy. So that was the first trade, or that was the second trade, which was a winner. What we then did is we kind of came into this Judas, kind of not necessarily Judas swing, but we had this kind of shift down. We had this minor manipulation leg, and it kind of made it a bit confusing on where price wanted to go, so I was just kind of reading price action in this case, waiting for it to tell me there's something. What we eventually saw was essentially assisted eventually on the 1 minute, and it kind of didn't necessarily give me the bearish bias immediately, but once I saw this second move down here on the 30 second, I took the assisted for an entry here. Took assisted for the entry, and the idea was to take break even once we started touching this low again. So took an entry around here, 47, went below 47 down to 37, break even. So essentially, third trade of the day was break even. Then essentially once I saw this market structure shift on the 30 second here, around 356, started coming a bit more bullish. I was kind of just, honestly, this session here was just me reading what price action was doing in the moment, bit regardless of the higher time frame. Once I saw this strong expansion higher and price trend up, I took a 15 second long here just for a little scalp up here on the 15 second. It's a 15 second order block, or you could say assisted setup in this case. Took it around 83 and I took it off around 9400. So that was a bit, and then the stop was below here. So it was around a 1.5 hour trade, but yeah. So 4 trades overall. Like this one here was just entering into strength. You already knew the trend was up, and you had another confirmation set up higher. Hit those highs, which was essentially your target. Which there were more highs to aim for, but as you can see, price just started to trend down in this case. But yeah, so a few setups. And the key was in this case was just kind of waiting for market structure shift and just being a bit patient for it. But then, of course, being tight and having break-even setups was very handy as well.